In the general training, for task 1, you always have to write a letter. Now, the letter can either be a formal letter or an informal letter, so it's very important at the beginning you decide which one it is so that you know which tone to write in. So if it's an informal letter, for example, to a friend or someone you've gone to stay with, you need to write in a very informal style. If it's a formal letter, clearly you need to write in a more formal, business-like style. So it's very important to know about the different styles and what kind of language or punctuation is required for these styles. So looking at the task 1 that we have here, as you can see, it's a letter to a public library. So it's somebody that you don't know. So clearly this is going to be a more formal letter. So you look at the letter and there's always 3 prompts that you need to address. In this one, you have to write a letter to the library, and you need to just say what you like about the library, what you don't like about the library, and make some suggestions for improvements. You probably want to put it into different paragraphs with your opening, just a general reason for writing, and then maybe a different paragraph for each section. Okay, so looking at this one, they've started off, "Dear Sir, Madam." It's a formal letter because it's somebody that they don't know. So they started off, "Dear Sir and Madam," which is an appropriate introduction. Then as you look through, they've actually covered all aspects. They start off with their reason for writing, which is good. They give a little bit of background, saying how long they've been using the services. And then they immediately go into the first prompt, which is saying what they enjoy about the library. They enjoy their staff, the way they serve, they're always polite, etc. They talk about the equipment. So they mention quite a few things about what they like. And then they talk about the things that they have concerns about. So they're now go on to addressing the things that they don't like. And they mention a few of these, which is good. And then at the end, they add some suggestions. So looking at this paper, they've covered all the prompts in quite a good amount of detail. They don't use paragraphs. Now, just looking at the way that they link their sentences together, there's not a large amount of linking words in there. They've got but, they've got so, they've got and, so quite basic linkers. So they have got some linking devices, but there's not a wide range. Going on to talk about the vocabulary, they managed to express themselves quite well. Most of the vocabulary is accurately used. They've written in the appropriate tone as well. They haven't used any contractions like I'm, he's, she's. They use full forms. Concerning the grammar, there's a wide range. They've got present perfect simple, present perfect continuous used correctly, which is always a good sign. For example, in the 3rd line, they've got I have been using your library services for 25 years, which is accurately used. And my son has started to use it as well. So we've got the present perfect continuous, followed by present perfect simple used correctly, which is a good sign of more complex language. Also, they've got some complex sentences in there. They've got relative clauses. For example, about 8 or 9 lines down, they've got the library is equipped with comfortable furniture, which helps user to feel freely and work efficient, which is it's a little bit clumsy or a little bit awkward. It's not very natural at all. It should be efficiently, not efficient. And user should be users instead of freely. Feel more at home, feel more at ease, for example. So the examiner actually gave this a 6.5. And the reason for this is that the task was addressed, everything was addressed, but the final bullet point, which was the suggestions, was not very well extended. It was quite short. Also, there were a number of errors with vocabulary, with basic vocabulary word forms. For example, efficient, efficiently. Also, there's a number of grammar errors, not a huge amount, but there's enough to prevent it getting a 7. Paragraphing as well would be useful.